Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I'm SocietySucks and today I'm checking out the Tiger Tank Legend who destroyed 138 tanks by Mitzi Studio. I'm not exactly sure who this is going to be about, but I'm assuming it's going to be on the Eastern Front where the Germans fought the Russians. But anyway, let's see how this guy managed to destroy over 100 tanks.
In the chaos of World War II, one German tank commander carved out a reputation so infamous his name still sparks debate today: Michael Wittmann. Before Michael Wittmann turns the battlefield into chaos, we need to thank today's sponsor.
I'll be honest, I've never heard his name before.
To some back in Germany, he was mythologized as a hero. To everyone else, well, let's just say watching a Tiger tank roll into your country and flatten everything in sight doesn't exactly expand your fanbase. From the vast open plains of the Eastern Front to the narrow streets of Villers-Bocage, Wittmann's Tiger became both a weapon and a symbol. But was he really the Übermensch? I mean the unstoppable force of legend?
He didn't just fight in the East.
Cog in the Nazi propaganda machine? Well, today we unravel the story of Michael Wittmann, the man, the myth, the controversy.
Controversy?
Now, our boy Michael grew up in a tiny Bavarian village, helping out on the family farm. But instead of wrangling livestock, he preferred tinkering in his dad's garage with anything that had more than 1 horsepower. And despite his passion for mechanics, he pursued his career in agriculture, gearing up for a quiet, boring civilian life. Until 1934, when the square moustache guy, Hitler, showed up and started prepping Germany for global chaos. Suddenly, our boy Michael ditched his lederhosen, grabbed an infantry uniform, and joined the German army. And after serving for 2 years as an infantry private, Wittmann joined the SS because, hey, fun times. A short while later, he transferred to the Leibstandarte SS Adolf Hitler because, hey, even more fun times, I guess. In these years, Wittmann saw plenty of action while Germany was blitzkrieging the schnitz hell out of Europe. Oh, and we made a whole video with lame jokes about that just in case you're interested. By this point, Wittmann had been promoted from wearing hiking boots to driving armored vehicles and half-tracks. During the France campaign, the German army pushed towards Dunkirk, forcing the British Expeditionary Army to evacuate back to Britain. For a short while, Hitler upheld the illusion of invading the British Isles, but in 1940 the Brits were way better at keeping out foreigners than they are today. Maybe because they used Spitfires and Hurricanes to shoot them. I'm not so sure
they don't do that anymore today.
Years later, literally or figuratively. In the spring of 1941, Wittmann's units was transferred to the Eastern Front for Operation Barbarossa, the planned invasion of the Soviet Union. He was assigned to a new tank unit where he commanded a Stug 3 tank destroyer.
Ooh,
now, in case you're not already jerking off to the tanks twice a day, here's the deal. A tank destroyer is actually different from a tank because, well,
very different.
It's mainly designed to destroy other tanks. I know, shocking, right? While tanks usually have rotating turrets and rely on speed and mobility,
tank destroyers don't need to have
lean
them.
on positioning, ambushes, and deadly precision. It's kind of like boxing a guy in a wheelchair. Sure, you've got the mobility advantage, but he's still going to land hits exactly where it hurts, if you catch my drift. On the wide open plains of the Soviet steppe, Michael Wittmann showed off his cunning tactical doctrine, using every advantage of his Stug 3 tank destroyer, striking quickly and then hiding smartly by exploiting the low silhouette of the vehicle. Over the course of multiple armored engagements, Wittmann and his crew destroyed dozens of Soviet T-34s and KV-1s. By this time, his superiors acknowledged his reputation as a
they gave him a better tank
and upgraded him to a Panzer IV medium tank.
Oh my god!
Considering his successes while operating a wheelchair version of a Panzer III, you can imagine the grin on his face cruising around in this new piece
now
of
he's got a real tank.
With a full rotating turret and improved mobility, Michael and his crew set out again to bring death and destruction to Soviet armored divisions. However, during the winter of 1941, the German tanks became bogged down in a deep blanket of snow over the entire Eastern Front. Setback. Hitler went from Führer mode to furious mode in a beat, and demanded his armored units to regain the initiative the following summer. And that's exactly what the German army did. They steamrolled through the southern regions of the Soviet Union towards Stalingrad and towards the oil fields in the Caucasus. They did that until they weren't doing that. while
They
also
shouldn't
getting
have
their
wasted
Sixth
time on
Army completely
Stalingrad.
encircled during the Battle of Stalingrad, the setback number 2. Now, Hitler wouldn't be Hitler if he didn't use the occasion to turn a setback into a clusterfuck. By refusing to break out of the encirclement, the Fuhrer basically signed the death warrant on the 6th Army still fighting in the ruins of the city.
He did.
Despite Wittmann's units not being involved in the battle itself, yeah, lucky him, the destruction
Very
of the
lucky.
6th Army did put the entire German front on the defensive for many months after. Now being all desperate and stuff, the German High Command began handing out fancy new tanks to a few capable tank commanders. And just like that, Wittmann was handed Germany's most fearsome new heavy
Tiger.
tank. The Panzerkampfwagen 6, better known as the Tiger 1, or even better known as a rolling fortress with an anti-everything gun slapped on.
Were there any Tiger 2s during World War II?
So this monster was basically parked in Wittmann's driveway, keys in hand, with the simple instruction, just go out there and have some fun. But then, obviously, in German, so that would be Spaß machen, I guess? Anyway, the highly effective 88mm gun tore through Soviet tanks like a hot knife through butter, while the frontal armor made the Tiger nearly impervious to anything the enemy could throw at it.
Nearly. Not completely.
In addition, he used the terrain to his advantage, relocating his tank between strong points and keeping maximum distance to exploit the effective range of the Tiger's massive gun. He learned fast and was able to use this new machine of war to full effect. While cruising around in his Tiger during the Battle of Kursk a few months later, his Tiger alone destroyed 17 Soviet tanks in a single day.
Impressive. In one day.
After
Damn.
Kursk, Wittmann's fame skyrocketed V2 style. He was summoned to Hitler's headquarters in Rastenburg to receive a bunch of badass medals from the Fuhrer himself. He basically became Germany's poster boy for tanks, making him very popular with the ladies back home. A good thing, since Michael wasn't exactly pansexual, as he was more panzersexual. Again, Spaß machen. So with these medals slapped onto his chest, the
Spaß machen. If we translate that literally, it's fun make. It should be hab Spaß, have fun.
famous tank ace was sent to the Western Front along with his Tiger. Now, apparently, the Allies landed on the Normandy beaches, brought their own portable harbour with them because, A, why not? And now ships were unloading Allied armour into Normandy, causing frickin' traffic jams in the French countryside. And this sounded
Which
like
can be
a
exploited.
great time to Germany's master tank ace. He started his Tiger's engine and
Driving
cruised
in
towards the landing
columns.
grounds to settle some bocage business. Close to the town of Villers-Bocage, he spotted a British armoured column. Immediately, he picked off the lead vehicle and trapped the rest of the group, who were now bogged down behind the
Now
wreck.
shoot the vehicle in the rear and then just pick them off one by
During the
one.
following minutes, his Tiger transformed Cromwell tanks into unwell tanks. Firefly tanks became on-Firefly tanks, and half-tracks became, well, just literal half-tracks. However, when he reached the town centre, British tanks and anti-tank guns were already waiting.
Yup, can't fight that.
Wittmann's Tiger rumbled down the main street alongside a few other Tigers and a Panzer IV, all of which were eventually hit and set ablaze. Realizing things had gone pear-shaped, Wittmann pulled his Tiger westward out of the town. Near the outskirts of Villers-Bocage, his tank was spotted and disabled by a British 6-pounder
Oh
shot.
no!
The crew quickly abandoned the burning Tiger and the men disappeared behind a few bushes. Oh, nothing gay. Nevertheless, by this time, Villers-Bocage had been turned into a graveyard for British vehicles and equipment. A few months later, the tank ace rolled out once again, ready to turn enemy tanks into scrap metal. But this time, fate had other plans. Now, for maximum drama, let's blast a bit of Wagner Götterdämmerung over the radio, or at least something Wagnerish.
I'm gonna assume he's gonna be disabled by a Sherman eventually. Oh, it's just like the Russian tanks. They keep losing their heads. Oh, there he goes.
And just like that, our boy Wittmann met his end. Boom, Tiger tank down, Tiger grew toast. Speaking of a satisfying kill, I'll bet those British tank blokes were happy to settle the score. Although to truly settle the score would mean killing him another 138 times, but
Exactly.
I guess they were happy enough not being dead. But death didn't kill the legend. The Nazis turned him into propaganda gold. While post-war historians argued over whether he was a brilliant tactician or just a very effective pawn in the grand awful game of Nazi myth-making. Either way, the name Michael Wittmann refused to go quietly into the night.
Well, he had a good run, 138-1. He did pretty well until he died. What surprises me is that before this video, I've never even heard of the guy before. I've not once heard his name whenever I looked up anything about World War II. Never. I mean, yeah, he was good at his job. He got lucky and avoided death multiple times. And he did his job well. What else is there to say? Not much, so hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. If you want to see more reactions, check out this video right here. And with that, I hope I'll see you in the next video.